Hello again, and welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is affirmative weapons, and the first reading from Dr. Wayne Dyer's Everyday Wisdom. In order to make a visualization a reality in the world of form, you must be willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And the second and last reading, because it's a bit long, that I'm going to do is from Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. Affirmations will help you allow yourself to do it. An affirmation is a positive statement of positive belief. And if we can become 1/10 as good at positive self-talk as we are at negative self-talk, we will notice an enormous change. Affirmations help achieve a sense of safety and hope. When we first start working with affirmations, they may feel dumb, hokey, embarrassing. Isn't this interesting? We can easily and without embarrassment bludgeon ourselves with negative affirmations. I'm not gifted enough, not clever enough, not original enough, not young enough. But saying nice things about ourselves is notoriously hard to do. It feels pretty awful at first. Try these and see if they don't sound hopelessly syrupy. I deserve love. I deserve fair pay. I deserve a rewarding creative life. I am a brilliant and successful artist. I have rich creative talents. I am competent and confident in my creative work. Did your censor perk its nasty little ears up? Censors loathe anything that sounds like real self-worth. They immediately start up with the imposter routine. Who do you think you are? It's as though our entire collective unconscious sat up late nights watching Walt Disney's 101 Dalmatians and practicing Cruella de Vil's delivery for scathing indictments. Just try picking an affirmation. For example, I, and you put your name there, am a brilliant and prolific potter, painter, poet, or whatever you are. Write that 10 times in a row. While you are busy doing that, something very interesting will happen. Your censor will start to object. Hey, wait a minute. You can't say all that positive stuff around me. Objections will start to pop up like burnt toast. These are your blurts. Listen to the objections. Look at the ugly, stumpy little blurts. Brilliant and prolific. Sure you are. Since when? Can't spell? You call writer's block prolific? You're just kidding yourself. An idiot. Grandiose. Who are you kidding? Who do you think you are? And so on. You will be amazed at the rotten things your subconscious will blurt out. Write them down. These blurts flag your personal negative core beliefs. They hold the key to your freedom in their ugly little claws. Make a list of your personal blurts. It's time to do a little detective work. Where do your blurts come from? Mom? Dad? Teachers? Using your list of blurts, scan your past for possible sources. At least some of them will spring violently to mind. One effective way to locate the source is to time travel. Break your life into 5-year increments and list by name your major influences in each time block. Paul had always wanted to be a writer, and yet after a brief flurry of college creativity, he stopped showing his writing to anyone. Instead of the short stories he dreamt of, he kept journal after journal, each following the last into a dark drawer far from prying eyes. Why he did this was a mystery to him until he tried working with affirmations and blurts. When Paul began writing his affirmations, he was immediately shaken by an almost volcanic blast of disparagement. He wrote, "I, Paul, am a brilliant and prolific writer." From deep in his unconscious, there erupted a spewing torrent of self-abuse and self-doubt. It was numbingly specific and somehow familiar. "You're just kidding yourself, a fool, no real talent, a pretender, a dilettante." Don't know if I said that right. "A joke." Where did this core belief come from? Who could have said this to him? When? Paul went time traveling to look for the villain. He located him with great embarrassment. Yes, there was a villain, and an incident he had been too ashamed to share and air. A malevolent early teacher had first praised his work, and then set about a sexual seduction. Fearful that he had somehow invited the man's attention, ashamed lest the work really be rotten too, Paul buried the incident in his unconscious, where it festered. No wonder secondary motives were always a fear when someone praised him. No surprise he felt that someone could praise his work and not mean it. Boiled down to its essentials, Paul's core negative belief was that he was only kidding himself that he could write. This belief had dominated his thinking for a decade. Whenever people complimented him on his work, he was deeply suspicious of them and their motives. He had all but dropped friends once they had expressed interest in his talents. He had certainly stopped trusting them. When his girlfriend, Mimi, expressed interest in his talents, he even stopped trusting her. Once Paul brought this monster up from the depths, he could begin to work with it. I, Paul, have a real talent. I, Paul, trust and enjoy positive feedback. I, Paul, have a real talent. Although such positive affirmations felt very uncomfortable at first, they rapidly allowed Paul the freedom to participate in the first public reading of his work. When he was widely praised, he was able to accept the good response without discounting it. Turn now to your own list of blurts. They are very important to your recovery. Each of them has held you in bondage. Each of them must be dissolved. For example, a blurt that runs, I, Fred, am untalented and phony, might be converted to the affirmation, I, Fred, am genuinely talented. So I thought it was really interesting to look at affirmations and see, what the problem with them, the blurts. It was really very interesting. There's just two quotes I want to tell you on that about affirmation from Shatki Gawan. And he said, an affirmation is a strong, positive statement that something is already so. And one more from Jerry Frankenhauser. Affirmations are like prescriptions for certain aspects of yourself you want to change. I like that because I thought, now that's a prescription I would want. I don't like prescriptions from doctors, but I like a prescription for this because this is a change for your life and something that you can do to make your life better. And that's what I want for you. Have a great life, lots of love, joy, and kindness. I send you my love. Until next Monday, bye for now.